So I've been talking to you about using Zillow as a free resource along with some other tools. And what I wanted to talk to you about is kind of like best practices. So, best practices with regards to knocking the door. When you actually have an identified lead from Zillow, you want to go knock their door, you want to say hi to them, you want to be sensitive, I think is the one word. You want to be sensitive to the situation. So, you have to put yourself in the shoes of a person that is in this situation. So you've lost your job, you've had somebody die, anything, any number of things. It's usually job loss, death, or divorce. They're in a highly emotional state. Sometimes the husband's there, sometimes he's not. Sometimes the wife is there, sometimes she's not. Sometimes grandma just died. Sometimes the house is even vacant. You go there, there's nobody there, and then you have to track down the heirs through some skip trace methodology. But regardless, when you knock the door, this is what I'm talking about. When you actually knock the door, you have a name potentially from what I've taught you, and you're going to the door. What you do is you just really centered yourself. You ask yourself this question: how would I feel if I was in a situation where I had fallen behind or had a house in my ownership that was in a pre-foreclosure status and I'm standing to potentially lose this asset? And it could be a burden, not necessarily an asset. Some people view these houses as a burden. They have their own house, they have their own bills, and they've just adopted a house that may have deferred maintenance, meaning there's a new roof that's needed, paint peeling, anything, any number of deferred maintenance ideas or items, and there's usually a lot of them. Usually, if the house has become in disrepair, it's usually in a multitude of different phases of disrepair. However, it could also be a primary residence. And this is the kind of the concept in which I approach the doors, that this is most likely a primary residence. And usually you'll know whether or not it is. And you just have to really be sensitive to that. And there's no direct way that is 100% foolproof. But if you're real with people and you level with them and you tell them what your intentions are plainly, without spooking them or scaring them. Yes, you cannot control how they respond to you. It is not your responsibility to control how they respond. It is your responsibility to go in with the intention of assisting, being a help, and genuinely meaning that. And you can do that even though you know it's for profit. It's a delicate balance, but it can be done. And it really comes back to your character. So if you're the kind of person that is self-focused, and you just about yourself, can you fake it at the door? Can you act genuine? Sure. But I think for this to be a long-lasting, long-term career for somebody, you really have to identify with your core values and find out how much other people really mean to you. So imagine that it's your mother, your sister, your brother answering the door. How would you talk to them? Would you talk to them? Most people have a fear of public speaking. It's like death for some. This is, in a way, a form of public speaking, but you're doing it one-on-one, and there's a fear of the unknown also. So you're going in to speak to somebody you don't know. You're going into the unknown, and the things you do know are that this person is in a financial bind, or they may not be aware of it. So in some examples, you have a wife that answers the door, doesn't have no idea because she doesn't pay the bills and the husband does, or vice versa. And so you have to be sensitive to that. The best thing to do is to ask for the person that is on title, the one that you found that is the ownership piece of this puzzle. And you ask for them and you say, is John home, or is Chrissy home, or whoever they are? And they go, that's me. Or they go, well, what's this all about? That's when you intro with who you are and why you're there. You say, well, my name's Albert. My job is I help homeowners that may or may not be behind on their house payment for a multitude of reasons. It's my job to just kind of help people figure out what the next step is. I do it at no cost. and you genuinely got to mean this. You go in at no cost, which means you have no attachment to the outcome. And you can even say something like that. I have no attachment to the outcome of how this goes for you, whether or not you sell me your home or I facilitate a solution to help you. You got to go in with that helper mentality, kind of like a doctor is going in to talk to a patient. You're the house doctor. You come in with a solution about their home. That's who you are. You're in there to diagnose and issue a healing plan, a plan of how do you get yourself from where you are and based on your needs and wants, getting you where you need to be. And one of those treatments, if you will, is that yes, you can buy their home. In a lot of cases, that becomes the solution because most people don't have the money to maintain. Most people, obviously, if they had the money, they would be caught up on their payment. Their fears that they're feeling are, you're coming to steal my house, or who the hell are you? I don't know who you are, or what are you doing at my house? And you say, well, if they answer with that, you go, well, it is public. What I do this as a profession. I'm really good at finding people because of the public record. Banks have to legally notify the world through a recorded document called a notice of default. That notice of default notifies the world that you are, or the person that is on the loan is delinquent on their payments. And that notifies me as the house doctor, in other words, you don't have to say these words, but that notifies me as somebody that can offer a solution for you and guide you one way or the other. Sometimes they'll say, well, I don't want to sell my house. And I said, well, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to help you sell your home. I'm here to help you potentially save it if you can. And I'm here to offer a solution of purchasing it if that indeed becomes what you have. I'm going to help you get to the point where you can make an educated decision. I'm going to tell you what foreclosure is. I'm going to tell you about the process you're in. I'm going to tell you about what it is that you are currently dealing with. And people need hope. So I'll take you back when I was 18. I had been gifted a home from my mother because she had found a new husband, moved on, and said, here, the house is your responsibility. Well, at 18 years old, I had no idea what I was doing. So I fell behind on the payment because my roommates didn't pay me money. I got these unruly roommates kicking holes in the walls. It was a mess. One day, a guy came out to the house as a representative, just like we're talking about, and he said, hey, you're behind on your payment. We know you are, and here's why. And I want to see if we can get you back on track or help you figure out a solution for this situation you're in. And I was like, bet. I was looking forward to it because I was lost. I was actually scared. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to call. And so he came back, offered a solution. We remodified the loan. It was a great experience for me. And so that actually catapulted me into doing what I'm doing today, on top of the monetary gains and the upside of this business. But hopefully that helps you. I know this is a short video on that, but go in with a good character, go in with a good intention of actually wanting to help people, and your results should be astronomical because people can read you. People know your heart. People know your intentions because people have seen a lot of things come and go, and we're really good tuning forks as to what is real and what isn't. So I hope this video, and again, it's free, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'm going to continue to put out this content because this is a passion of mine, and I know there's a lot of people out there that want to change their lives while helping somebody else. And that's what you can do here with this type of real estate. Thank you, and we'll talk to you in the next video.